on the campus of the Peddie School from Hightstown, New Jersey. It's high school football live here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network as we bring you a phenomenal matchup between the Maple League Peddie Falcons and the Interact Conference Malvern Prep Friars. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, on a Friday, beautiful Friday afternoon from Maurice P. Schumann Field here in Hightstown, New Jersey. It's the Malvern Prep Friars on the road to take on the Peddie Falcons here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Simon Rosenwasser here with you, Kevin Fodinger, our director, and we are glad to have you along for the ride as these two teams square off. Peddie coming in, they're 2-1, coming off the win last week against the St. Joseph's School from Ontario, Canada, and Malvern Prep, meanwhile, 1-3, but do not let that record fool you. As you take a look at these Malvern Prep Friars breaking the huddle, they have played a couple of the top teams in the all across the nation. These Malvern Prep Friars playing LaSalle, ranked 183rd nationally, Pope John 101st nationally, McDonough 32nd, and St. Augustine, their only win. No slouch either, ranked 21st in the state of New Jersey, 652 nationally. So the Peddie School, one of the relatively speaking, weaker teams than Malvern has played. But let's let some of the Peddie captains and the Peddie coach, Chris Maleo, tell you about these Malvern Prep Friars and how they prepared for them.
I think they're going to be one of the better teams we play this year. They're a solid team. They've had a pretty tough schedule to start the year off. I mean, the record doesn't show, I think, how solid of a team they are.
Start by throwing their record out. I'm not a big record guy. We like to look at the film as a product of what people do. They're a really, really good football team. They're well coached. Their quarterback is excellent. Drew Gunther is an excellent quarterback. He was out for a little bit, but he's back, and you can see he makes great, really good snap decisions with the football, doesn't turn the football over.
I'm expecting a heavy dose of the run. That's more of what our concern is, because I think their running back is like the best running back we'll see this year so far.
O'Shawn Allison, their running back, going to Ohio, excellent football player. Linebackers are as good as I've seen, that we've played against.
We outweigh everyone on their line. Each one of our linemen outweighs their defensive line, which that doesn't matter. Obviously, when you have speed and quickness, we have to step up as an offensive line to change our steps and make our own reads. Calling out the mic, the zeros, ones, twos. We're getting ready for that, and evaluating film as an offensive line, without a doubt. Like we're doing it every step possible to be ready for Malvern.
Overall, I think we've got to play our best football. They're going to be hungry. They're going to come in here, and they're not going to give, in any way, shape, or form, give us a win. So we know we're going to have to earn it, and it's going to be a heck of a football game.
And we welcome you back after that preview of Malvern Prep to take you to our play-by-player to watch. And it's going to be Javar Garrett, the senior for the Peddie School, the linebacker from Newark, Delaware, going to be playing for the University of Virginia next year. Number 23 recruit overall, according to 247sports.com, in the class of 2018. And boy, is he an animal. We talked to him yesterday, asked him what his favorite thing to do defensively is, and he said, one word, blitz. So keep an eye out for number 8. Going to be very busy with a tough Malvern Prep offense on the other side of him. Javar Garrett, our play-by-player to watch. See the captains at midfield. Let's announce them for you. And the captains for the Malvern Prep Friars, McCabe, McCann, O'Shawn Allison, Joe Basiura, and Ryan Betts. And for the Peddie Falcons, Adam Conyer, he's there in the sweatpants in the middle. He's not going to be playing in this game. They're hoping to have him back in just a couple of weeks' time, but he'll be playing his football at the University of Pennsylvania at the next level. Dan Dawkins, of course, number 72, big offensive line, and Tyler Tedeschi, a veteran senior linebacker, in the middle for the coin toss. And the Peddie Falcons have won the coin toss. We will see what they want to do. Believe they picked to receive. There's the white hat referee, Merkel Cherry, will be calling the ball. It's going to be calling the game. It's going to be the Peddie School, as he just indicated, that will receive the ball, moving left to right to start here. Let's look at that Peddie starting offense, since they're going to be coming on the field soon. No changes from last week's game. Thomas Wardle, Dan Dawkins, Evan Lovell, Chris Mayo, and Larry Ross are the better offensive lines you will see at this high school level. Averaging 6 foot, 300 pounds plus on the offensive line. Chris Chukwinecki is the running back. Marlon Johnson, Tyron Tucker, Maurice Bellon, and Julian Leslie, some of the key skill position players, as well as Alan Walters, the quarterback. We're going to pause here for the national anthem.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's give a big thank you to class of 2018 senior Julia Miralda, member of the Peddie varsity soccer team, talented singer and thespian, for
All right, national
Singing us the
anthem to
national
get us
anthem.
set here. There's Chris Maleo talking with our play-by-player to watch, among others. And Corey Smith right there as well, number 6, new phenomenal linebacker for this squad. He's heading out onto the kick return team. And back to return will be number 5, Maurice Bellon, who, what a game last week Bellon had. 3 touchdowns offensively, added another pick 6.
back deep to
As
receive for the
Bellon
Falcons.
and Chukwinecki will be back to receive for the Peddie School.
Maurice Bellon,
Expect a lot of points here
number 9, Chris
in this game.
Chukwinecki.
2 good defenses as well. Should be a phenomenal football game between these 2 talented teams coming from respected football conferences. Malvern Prep, of course, from the Interac. We've seen a lot of games being played between the Interac and the Maple League recently.
40-yard line, number 15.
Saw a Maple League Interac matchup a couple weeks ago when Blair Academy took on the Haverford School. So you got to like to see the partnership between these 2 leagues, and this makes for some good matchups here as Malvern comes here to the Peddie School and is set to kick it away. We'll get going at about 3:34 p.m. as Malvern boots it away, and we're off and running as Chukwinecki waits for it, gathers at the 10, and he's got room. Chukwinecki still on his feet, and he is out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Chukwinecki ran about 25 yards before he was even touched, and good field position to start here for the Peddie School. As Alan Walters, the 6'1 senior from Chatham, New Jersey, will
From their own 41.
lead the troops here out to battle on their first possession, 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line.
Alan Walters, number 15, is under center for the Falcons. Joined in the backfield by number 9, Chukwinecki. Out wide, Tucker.
So 3 receivers on the left side to start, and Chukwinecki, the running back in the backfield for the Peddie Falcons. Maurice Bellon in the slot. And on first down, it's a run to Chukwinecki, and he's taken down after a short 1 or 2 yard gain. Nick Guerrero on the tackle, son of the head coach of this Malvern football team, and Dave Guerrero, first-year head coach. was the coach at Westchester East from 2014 to 2016. Graduate of Cardinal O'Hara High School in the Philadelphia area. As it looks like an equipment issue will stop the clock momentarily. Chris Chukwinecki fixes whatever was bothering him, and back we go. 2nd down and 9 here. And yet another stoppage as the two referees will come discuss here at midfield. A lot of confusion here in the stadium. But anyway, Dave Guerrera in his first year as the head coach. Graduated Cardinal O'Hara, as I said. He was the Malvern quarterback coach in 2009 and 2010 under Kevin Pellegrini, son of the late, great Gamp Pellegrini. As Chukwinecki receives on 2nd down and a few extra yards after the first initial contact, and it will bring up a 3rd and manageable with about 5 yards to go from the 47-yard line. Chukwinecki playing previously at St. John Vianney High School. And on 3rd and 4, they fake to him. Come to the near side, and good coverage on the near side as the play is broken up. They were looking for Tyron Tucker. And Nick Guerrera again made some good defensive play, broke that one up. It's 4th down, and decision time for Chris Maleo. Usually a fairly aggressive coach, and I think even this year you could see him be more aggressive than usual, knowing the playmakers he's got on the other side of the football, his defense. So 4th down and Peddie offense on the field. Play action, and it's in and out of the hands and back into the hands of Maurice Bellani. He almost dropped it, but he did complete for the 1st down, and that will move the chains. And the sure-handed Balan found a way to get it done after he initially bobbled. Be easier to see where Maurice Balan is on the field as he wears that neon green scarf-looking thing around his neck. And Chukwinecki, they give it to him. He's going to go backwards. Once again, it's Nick Guerrera, who's made already 3 plays defensively here on this first drive, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and long. A loss of 2 on the play.
Hand up the middle, Chukwinecki. He's going to lose a yard. Number of Malvern players on the tackle.
So 2nd and 12 here. 2 running backs here for Walters in the gun. Looking straight to throw. Chukwinecki picking up the block, and they set up a screen. And it is going to be a gain of about 5 or 6 yards as it's Julian Leslie.
Screen to Julian Leslie. Gain of about 4 yards.
Post-grad from Carmichael, California, Sacramento area.
From the Malvern 44.
5'10", 180 pounds. Leslie, a kind of kid on the offensive side of the ball, and you can say this about Maurice Bellon, too. 2 newcomers onto the Peddie offense. You can really play them all over the field. Very versatile athletes. You can run them out of the backfield, and they're usable and more than usable, good as receivers as well. As there's going to be movement up front against Peddie, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long after the false start. So 3rd and back them up to 12 yards to go now on 3rd down, as the line of scrimmage is the 49-yard line of Malvern. So passing situation here. Chukwinecki, the lone running back. The 3 receivers on the right side of the formation. And there's going to be another flag coming out as they handed it off to Chukwinecki. It looks like we might be backing up another 5 yards.
False start penalty on the
You know, I appreciate the referee whose microphone list there on the field making it clear to everybody in the stadium as he shouts at the top of his lungs. We'll try to use the field microphone to pick up his calls as he does indicate what the penalties are. But anyway, it's going to make it a 3rd and 17. So it's Leslie. And he hits the hole. Julian Leslie gets past the original line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up about a 4th and 8.
A quick screen out to Julian Leslie on the right side.
Maybe even 7, so 4th and 7 upcoming here. And
On the 43-yard line for the
yet again, the Falcons will roll the dice. Fake to Chuck Winecki. Walters escapes pressure, but he's going to eventually go down, and Malvern stops the Peddie Falcons on their first possession. It's John Turley with the big sack for the Malvern Prep Friars, and now it's Malvern who will take over. 1st and 10, we're heading the other way. Good work by Alan Walters to evade the initial sack.
from the 50-yard line.
A good pursuit by the Friars. Again, Malvern 1-3 this year, but you can't look at that record as if you saw the interview before the game with some of the captains, that's what Peddie knew looking at the film. This is a really good football team, and we're going to see some talented players on this offense. In fact, we'll take a look at some of the key players when we have a chance here on this first drive. But the quarterback is Drew Gunther, the junior, and we won't get to see the first play here as, but did a flag come out? There was a whistle. I don't see a flag. And it's going to be an equipment issue here on the Peddie side. Is coming off the field is Tyron Tucker. And you saw the referee tell Tucker to get off the field, and in his stead comes Marlon Johnson to the far side of the field to guard the receiver and Keith McGuire.
1st and 10 from the 50 for the Friars.
Anyway, here's Drew Gunther behind center, the junior quarterback. Coming to the near side and completing to Ryan Iacone, and the play made by the senior Tyler Tedeschi. This linebacking core for the Peddie School, among the best you will see. We're going to look at their starting lineup here. Tedeschi in the middle, and he's been there for a while. One of the senior captains for this squad. Wardle, Schmidt, and Morales up front. Schmidt, don't sleep on him. He had 2 interceptions last week on the line. Very athletic. Lennox Lamar, Javar Garrett, Tyler Tedeschi, and keep an eye out for number 6, Corey Smith. Bellon, Johnson, Haskins, and Chuck Winecki, and the defensive backfield for Chris Maleo. 0-0 here. 2nd and just over 10 yards. And a shifty move by the running back, O'Shawn Allison. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 3, but there's our first look at the phenomenal running back, O'Shawn Allison, the future player for Ohio University. Limited to just 3 appearances in his junior season, but he is back in his senior campaign, and he has made a splash. He was all Interac as a sophomore. This year, came back against St. Augustine, ran for 139 yards and a touchdown. 5'10", 195, good size for a running back, and he lines up next to Gunther here in the shotgun. Across it's Quincy Watson as a flag comes flying. Watson turns upfield and gets near the first down marker. He'll probably have it pending the penalty, but in a play like that, it's usually going to go against the offense if there's laundry on the field, and let's see.
Illegal formation.
And it was an illegal shift, illegal formation against Malvern. One of those creatively designed plays with the slot receiver and Quincy Watson. We talked about Bellon and we talked about Bellon on the other side for the Peddie School as being a skill position player, an athlete that they can put all over the field. Well, Leslie is the other player for Peddie, but the same thing can be said for Quincy Watson, the running back here for Malvern Prep, 5'9", 180-pound junior. He's extremely strong for his size. only 5'9", 180, but he's benching 315, and
48-yard line.
kind of kid that can catch the pass out of the backfield, can run the ball up the gut, can come from the slot to run the ball as well, and they will use him quite a bit. It is Watson and O'Shawn Allison in the backfield on 3rd and about 8, and it's Watson who's hit hard by Corey Smith.
O'Shawn Allison on the carry up the middle for the Falcons.
Corey Smith is a fun player to watch. I talked to Javar Garrett about Corey Smith, and he said one word: stud. And he's going to get some D1 looks sooner rather than later, as Malvern is set up to punt here. Very good punter slash kicker that the Friars have. And this boot is away. It's a high ball that will be fair caught by Julian Leslie inside the 20-yard line.
Number 28, Garrett Riley with the punt.
So back out onto the field comes the Peddie offense, and both offenses go 0 for 1 here on their first quarter drives in terms of trying to score. Take a look at some of the key players on the Malvern defense. Keith McGuire, phenomenal linebacker for the Friars. Cole McCabe, one of the captains. Defensive tackle Ryan Betts, and I wrote running back there, but the safety is Ty G. Leach.
Walters and Chuck Winecki in the backfield.
And Alan Walters is going to have to come out here. Another equipment issue. That's the second or maybe even third we've seen so far, and I think that's going to force the Peddie School to call a timeout. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with more.
1st and 10 from their own 19.
Back we come as Alan Walters is back on the field after the timeout taken by Chris Malaya. Chuck Winecki in the backfield for Peddie. Fake to him. And it's Bellon who's wide open. Flag comes out, but Maurice Bellon is drilled across the 40-yard line. Good pickup. They have 24 yards on the play, but likely coming back, as Bellon seemed to be too wide open.
Flag is an ineligible receiver downfield for the Falcons.
And it's an eligible man downfield against Peddie. So 4:34 to go.
That'll delete a nice gain for the Falcons. And now be 1st and 15 from the 14.
1st and 15 after the penalty. Walters rolling on the run and making the catch. Keeping his feet in bounds, Tyron Tucker. Not a huge gain on 1st down, but gets the penalty yards back. 2nd and 10. Walters with a phenomenal start to the season. 47 of 73 coming into this game. 825 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Another stoppage here as they're going to allow one of the Malvern defensive players to tie a shoe, it seems. And back up onto the line comes Dominic Massimo. Under 4 minutes to go, 2nd and 10. Bellon wide open again. No flag this time, and Bellon's got the first down. And about 8 yards more. 18 yards for Maurice Bellon on the catch.
Some open space and received a nice pass from Walters for about a 16-yard gain.
And it's 1st and 10.
10 from their own 37.
Bellon, 5'11", 180. Wants to be a doctor in the field of sports medicine. Walters pumping and just threw it away. Looking for Marlon Johnson out there on the far side. He was guarded by Isaac White. Didn't let him by. It'll be 2nd and 10. Not seen the Falcons stretch the field with a deep ball yet. Most of the passes short to intermediate routes so far. Second and 10 upcoming here with Chuck Wienecke in the backfield. Bellon split out as a wide receiver in the slot on the left side. Tucker on the right side, and it's Marlon Johnson all the way on the far side. And they go for Tucker, and near side he's hit high and ruled inbounds with the catch. Looks like Peddie's going to hurry back up to the line on 3rd and short.
About a 9-yard gain, 3rd and short.
Bellon on the right side this time. 4 receivers, Chuck Wienecke in the backfield. They give to Chris on 3rd and short. Keeps those legs churning. He's got enough for a first down. And a fresh set of downs here for the Falcons. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And what has so far been a low-scoring game. Not something that the Peddie Falcons have seen in 2017, as they've blown out their opponents the last couple of weeks. This one through the arms of Tucker. And again, he's hit hard by number 5 in Quincy Watson.
Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 for the Falcons from their own.
Yeah, imagine Quincy Watson. You saw the way he runs the football on the offensive side. I imagine that not the guy you want to be on the other side of when he's pursuing you defensively. Second and 10. Walters has Bellon. Catches it right at the sticks, and he's got the first down inside the 40, and Peddie, their best field position thus far, 1st and 10 from the 39. And they are speeding the tempo up a bit.
The Flyer 39-yard line.
Again looking to throw. And the catch is made. And it is Julian Leslie. We'll see where they spot this one, because when Leslie initially made the catch, it was about a 5-yard gain, and then he was forced backwards and actually broke the tackle. Looks like they will give him that forward progress, and they'll give him 3 yards on the gain, as it brings up a 2nd down here. Another play-action play, and this one incomplete. Once again looking for Leslie.
That one just off the fingers of Leslie. Incomplete pass. Now 3rd and 7 for the Falcons. Again from the Flyer 37 yards.
So 2 chances here to pick up the first down. Three receivers on the right side. Lots of time here for Walters, and he fires, and it's incomplete. He just missed Tyron Tucker, who found a soft spot. It'll be 4th down and 7, and the offense will stay on the field.
It's going to be 4th down and 7 now for the Falcons.
Good showing so far from the defense of Malvern Prep. It's 4th down again for the Peddie School, looking for their 3rd for their second conversion. Walters does get it to Bellon, who's got the first down and more. Maurice Bellon moves the chains. And yet another fourth down conversion for the Falcons, who will have a 1st and 10 from the 20.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line of the Friar.
Good luck trying to cover Maurice Bellon out of the slot in the middle of the field. Their go-to guy. Here's Walters again with a lot of time. He's going to throw to the end zone. It's going to be incomplete, but I think we've got a penalty coming up against one of the offensive linemen of the Peddie School, and it is indeed holding against the offense. So we're going to replay it on 1st down. So they're going to call it a 15-yard. No, it's a 10-yard penalty, but it is a spot foul. So the play happened, the penalty happened 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So 1st and 25. They're going to set up the screen to Leslie. And Leslie not going to get very far as number 8, Cole McCabe, comes in there to make the stop. McCabe heading to Bucknell University, a senior outside linebacker. In fact, he's one of 2 Malvern Prep defenders heading to be a Bison. Ryan Betts, the defensive tackle, also headed to Bucknell. 2nd and long. And a handoff to Chuck Winecki. And Chuck Winecki with a good gain on 2nd down. It's going to be a single-digit attempt on 3rd down here for the Peddie Falcons. 3rd and about 9. Make it 8.
And 8 from the Friar 18-yard line.
So Peddie chipping away at the penalty yardage after that 1st down holding call. And with under 30 seconds to go now, Falcons have a 3rd and 8 from the 18. And it's incomplete. We'll stop the clock at 18 seconds and bring up a 4th down. Like they actually ruled that as he caught the ball. That was a pretty incredible catch. And since he did catch the ball, they let the clock roll, and that will do it for the 1st quarter. So we'll switch sides of the field, and we will head to the 2nd quarter. It is 0-0 here from Peddie. 4th and 11 here to start the second quarter. Walters fakes the handoff, looking end zone. And this one is going to be incomplete. Flag does come in. And we will see. There was a lot of contact from both the offense and the defense there in the end zone. And clapping on the side of Malvern Prep would indicate that it is likely against the Peddie School. Let's see. Indeed it is. And another hold for Malvern, as they will obviously decline the penalty and they take over on down. So the second time that the Friars have stopped the Falcons in their territory on 4th down. And it is still a scoreless ball game as the offense comes back out onto the field for the Malvern Prep Friars, the defending Interact champions. 8-3 overall last year. 4-1 in Interact play. I should say they were the co-Interact champions. They were crowned with Germantown Academy. As O'Shawn Allison, that's Watson, Quincy Watson, who won't be able to get past the first line. Tessima Haskins in there, the safety coming up to make the play. And it is a gain of about 4. Peddie switching their front defensively this year to a 3-4. 3-down lineman Schmidt. Dawkins in there, as well as Jose Morales playing the nose guard. On 2nd and 7, this ball's tipped at the line. Play made by Terrell Prince.
Pass attempt is tipped by the Falcons at the line. Incomplete pass.
Prince from College Park, Georgia.
From their own 26.
Prince having a really good year last year, but not in the way that he had planned. He was the 3rd-string quarterback, and he ended up becoming the starting quarterback for much of the season for the Falcons and did a yeoman's job filling in for the injured Alan Walters at the time. Back playing where he's more comfortable, and that's in the defensive secondary. As they come across with a screen, and still on his feet. What a play by Ryan Iacone. He does get near the original line of scrimmage, but Peddie, man, this defensive front, they are tough to move on, and it's going to be a 3-and-out for Malvern as Julian Leslie is back to return, as well as Maurice Bellon to join him.
Number 28, Riley for the kick. Julian Leslie and Maurice Bellon back for the Falcons to receive the punt.
Garrett Riley, the punter, has proven a nice weapon in the field position game this year for Malvern. Decent kick with no return coming for Peddie as it bounces out at the 38 about.
Wonderful kick by Malvern.
Yeah.
Bounces out of
Garrett Riley, the
7-yard line of the
kicker slash punter. You don't normally hear about kickers and punters at the high school level, but he's turned some heads with some of the boots that he's had this year. A couple of beautiful coffin corners. Hit a 35-yard field goal this season. And especially in this game, which has so far been low scoring and field position has been a factor. And it's nice to have a punter that can bail you out if you're back deep in your own territory. But here's a 1st and 10 for Peddie as they hand off to number 2, Julian Leslie, I believe. Or was that Chuck Winecki? Let's see. Yeah, it was Julian Leslie. And Leslie from Carmichael, California.
From their own 43.
Runs a 4.540, does number 2. Second team all-league at safety last year in Cali. As this ball is incomplete on the far side, a flag does come in
Incomplete
up
pass.
near the line.
Flag on the play.
It'll bring up a third down, pending the penalty. And again, it's going to be against the Falcons, ineligible man downfield.
Receiver downfield for
We
the
have
Falcons.
seen the Falcons be penalized for that one a number of times already here in the first couple games at home this season. So second and just over 10 yards here in the second quarter. Just under 10 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Simon Rosenwasser here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. There's Chris Maleo looking on in a big out-of-conference matchup with the Friars of Malvern Prep. Leslie off the screen, getting us blocked from Bellon, and he's got a first down across the 45-yard line. Big collision over here on the near side by one of the players heading out of bounds for Malvern Prep, as coming in was Isaac White. He came barreling in,
12 yards and a first down.
and there were a couple bicycles there on the near sideline that just took a couple of dents. But we're back to the action as it's 1st and 10. Good thing everyone's okay here on the near side. Walters looking to throw, and he's got Johnson, 6 yards. And he's brought out of bounds by Nathan Dollar. So a 2nd and 4.
Marlon Johnson on the reception.
Marlon Johnson catching a ball last
Pick up about
week
7 yards. It's going to be
in the end zone. One of those jump balls. 6'4". We're going to see him catch some of those balls this year. And Julian Leslie able to shake the first tackler. And Julian Leslie with a good second effort. And he might have picked up that first down. Great presence there by Julian Leslie, as the defender had him dead to rights as he caught that ball. And they're going to mark him just shy. 3rd and inch is upcoming.
Just shy. It's 3rd and
And they
short
put
for
Chuck
the
Winecki
Falcons.
back in the backfield. Walters able to get it to Leslie. The Julian Leslie show here on this drive as he brings it inside the 25 to the 21.
Over the middle on the slant. That's a pickup
3rd
of
and
about
short.
20
Open
yards
up the
down,
playbook,
just shy
and a
of
lot of
50
green
yards.
out there for Julian Leslie to make the catch.
From about the 21.
Walters with time, looking across the middle. Marlon Johnson takes a hit, but he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Peddie. And the Falcons strike first. It is 6-0.
Marlon Johnson with reception, and he's into the end zone for a Peddie Falcon touchdown.
And they are going to throw for a 2-point conversion,
Bellon takes the
as
snap.
Maurice Bellon is wide open in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. They catch Malvern by surprise,
After the first touchdown.
and it is 8-0. Peddie leads. We get one more look as Walters is able to find Johnson up the middle. Trying to go high on the hit was Isaac White. Marlon Johnson, a big body. You don't take him down with that. And he's in the end zone for 6 plus 2 more. It's 8-0 Falcons. And Malvern will look to respond, though their offense has not had too much success so far, as Peddie's defense has looked good. Time of possession certainly in favor so far of the Falcons, so the defense probably well rested as well. .8:32 to go, and quarter number 2. And a timeout is called. So an extra water break will be added in here. Take a look at some of the opponents for Malvern Prep this year. We talked about how they're 1-3, but these are the teams that they've played. South College High School,
8 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game.
6th in Pennsylvania, 183 nationally. Pope John VIII, 7th in New Jersey, 101st nationally. All of these rankings, by the way, according to maxpreps.com. And going up and playing McDonough in Maryland, out of Maryland, 32nd nationally. And, of course, St. Augustine, the only win of the season for Malvern. But similar to the Peddie School, the Friars want to play against the best. If you want to be the best, you've got to play the best. And the grueling Interact schedule upcoming for the Friars. And for the Falcons, the Maple League schedule upcoming. And when you go up against those rival schools, you want to be in the best shape possible. And since these out-of-conference games don't mean anything to a league title, might as well play the best. So after the touchdown, Marlon Johnson for 6. It is a kickoff for the Peddie School as Christos Katsifis will boot it away. Good leg here from Katsifis. And Kevin Boyle receives. 31-yard line is where Malvern will start a little extracurricular activity. Katsifis got tangled up with Eric Villano, and then the flag came out. We'll see who the penalty is going to be against, whether it's one of those mutual ones, but Katsifis, he got a high five from his head coach, Chris Maleo, so I think he may have gotten under the skin of that Malvern player. The kicker, you got to love that, after kicking the ball, getting involved on special teams, but based on the body language of Chris Maleo and looking at this, looks like it's going to go against the Peddie School. It is a personal foul against the Peddie School. They may have just canceled the penalties out. Here we go. Personal foul against the Peddie School. No, and that's it. Not one against Malvern. So 15 yards marked up. Chris Maleo not happy about it. He clearly doesn't agree with the call because he gave his player a high five after the flag was out. And add another 15 yards on to the field position here for Malvern. 1st and 10. Drew Gunther hands off on 1st down. It's O'Shawn Allison, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Alex Schmidt on the tackle, and they have not been able to get O'Shawn Allison going yet. Did look strong in the second half against St. Augustine, did O'Shawn Allison. So kind of player that you know that Malvern will continue to rely on as the game moves forward. He's the lone back. Out in the slot is Quincy Watson. Gunther to throw. Oh, and he's got his man. What a catch by Quincy Watson. He is loose for 6. One-handed grab by Watson, and it's 8-6 Peddie leads. A reason why they are excited about Quincy Watson, the junior, making a phenomenal catch, which we'll get another look at after the extra point. And just like that, Malvern back on the board. It's going to take big plays like that against this Peddie defense, not the kind of defense that you're going to grind drives out against. And the big playmakers have to make some big plays, and Quincy Watson did that to get Malvern back into this game. And here's the extra point. It's up. It's good. It's 8-7. As we get one more look at this phenomenal catch by Quincy Watson. He's lined up in the slot on the left side. Let's see. He just runs straight. And the catch is made. Nice little slow-mo there. He just ran right past his man. It looked like cheating up. Tessima Haskins, the safety, coming up there to guard Watson, and Watson just ran straight past him. So 8-7. Good response by Malvern Prep with 7:34 to go here in the second quarter. So Drew Gunther throws yet another touchdown. It's his 7th of the year. Guy that threw 12 touchdowns in 5 games last year.
Number 15, Constantini, will kick off from the 40-yard line for the Flyers.
Sebastian Constantini is the kicker for Malvern. Deep backs for Peddie, Chuck Winecki, and Bellan. It's a short kick. Picked up by Haskins. And Tessima Haskins maintains possession of the ball as he takes a couple of big hits.
Number 21, Tessima Haskins picks up the
across the 35-yard line where Peddie's offense will come out. Now up by just 1 point.
32-yard line where it'll be
And Alan Walters will lead the offense back out onto the field. Walters, who has had a spotlight on him throughout his young high school career. For starting at Paramus Catholic, where he went to satisfy his early craving for big-time football, but then he kind of discovered as a youngster the not-so-pretty parts of being in a high-pressured position at a football powerhouse. As Walters looks to throw, goes across the middle, and he missed his man. Bellan had a lot of room to run.
Walters just misses Bellan on the pass up the middle. Incomplete.
So Walters,
Second and 10 for the Falcons. Again,
as a young quarterback at Paramus Catholic, a lot of instability at the time as his coach went on to be selected by Jim Harbaugh and go over to the University of Michigan. Had 4 coaching changes in 6 months. Led to a lot of finger pointing all the way up there, and a safer destination for Walters was with his friend Chris Maleo, and somehow he escapes here enough to get an incomplete pass, as it'll be 3rd and 10. A flag did come out after the play was over. And yet again, it's going to be an ineligible man downfield against the Peddie Falcons, yet the 3rd time that penalty's been called against them in this game. So it's either going to be 3rd and 10 or 2nd and 15 or 3rd and 10. This is Malvern's decision here. It's kind of one of those pick whichever one you want. I think if I was Malvern, I would take the 3rd and 10, as you're giving Peddie an extra couple of downs here.
Malvern chooses to take the penalty and push this Falcons
So 2nd
back
and
5 yards.
15.
It's going to be 2nd and 15 for the Falcons from their own 32-yard line.
So So 2nd and 15 after the penalty of an eligible man downfield. Could have been much worse for the Falcons after it was nearly a sack. They get to redo the down after all of that. Walters throws, finds Leslie. Oh, Leslie gets by a couple of guys and then picks up a block from Johnson. Leslie still on his feet, tight roping the left sideline, and he is taken down at the 32. Julian Leslie making some moves. And accept the penalty, decline the penalty, doesn't matter as Peddie picks up a first down on the very next play. Looking to respond after the long touchdown completion to Quincy Watson of Malvern. Fake to Chuck Winecki this time, and they set up another screen to Leslie. Trying to change his direction again, but staying with him and dragging him down from behind, Dominic Massimo, the senior. Really liking that matchup with Julian Leslie as they have featured him in this game so far. The Peddie Falcons, 8-7, 6.5 now to go. Another fake to Chuck Winecki, and this time it's Marlon Johnson.
Marlon Johnson with the catch along the sidelines. Be another Falcon first down. Gain of about
So many weapons all over the field. The two skill guys in Balan and Leslie, and then the big target in Marlon Johnson. And the veteran presence in Tyron Tucker. All four of those names split out as wide receivers. Chuck Winecki in the backfield, who takes the run through the middle. And he is brought down by Keith McGuire. McGuire, a highly sought-after linebacker for Malvern. 6'2", 215. He's a junior. Offered by Virginia and Army already. Second team All-Interac as a sophomore last year. And kept the game alive almost single-handedly against McDonough. As Walters on second down looks end zone for Johnson, who made the catch one-handed, but he was pushed out. What an effort by Marlon Johnson. But Isaac White had just enough coverage on the play to make it difficult for him to keep his feet in bounds. So 3rd and 9, 5:36 to go. Third down and 9. And Malvern will take a timeout.
Malvern prep takes another timeout.
As we get one more look here at this, what would have been, wow, what a catch by Marlon Johnson. Can we get one more look at that, Kevin? That's worth you get another look. Let's spin it back one more time and see Marlon Johnson bring this one in, even though, did he even get 1 foot in? I don't think so, but boy, he did all he could considering the pass was not really in an optimal place to get 2 feet in. Marlon Johnson catching a touchdown earlier in this game, made a catch similar to that. Back corner fade to the end zone against St. Joe's last week. Already offered by Temple University, former Wissahickon Trojan. The rival of my high school football alma mater, the Upper Dublin Cardinals. But anyway, back to the Peddie Falcons, 3rd and 9. And the handoff to Chuck Winecki, and he's not going to get past Nick Guerrera. Guerrera has made a couple of big plays defensively so far. And here, probably the biggest play of the game to this point. 1 point separating the squads. 4th down and 8 upcoming here for Peddie.
Pick up just a yard for the Falcons, and it's going to be 4th and 8 for the Falcons from the 15-yard line of the Flyers.
Three receivers on the right. Walters looking that way. And he is not on the same page with Bellon. It is incomplete. Peddie will not be happy with that on a 4th down try. But Malvern takes over with not great field position. They start at the 15-yard line. But after a touchdown on their last drive, they have a chance to take the lead with a score here. Under 5 minutes to play. Remember, it was Peddie who received the ball at the start of the game, so a long Malvern drive here could be in their favor if they ended it with a score, but boy, it's tough to even get a couple yards after the past this Peddie front. It was Watson on the carry.
With the carry up the middle, he's going to lose a little bit of yardage. Tedeschi with the first hit on the play, and then a few Falcons to help him out with the tackle.
Brings up a 2nd and 11. A couple of substitutions here for the Friars.
From their own 14-yard line.
Haven't seen much of the arm of Drew Gunther. Flag comes out here that will call play. It's a delay of game against Malvern, which will make a 2nd and 11, a 2nd and 16.
It's a loss of 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 16. From their
Critical point in the game here. The way that Peddie's defense has played, they've got a chance to give their offense good field position if they can hold Malvern within their own 10-yard line like they have it now. Friars' first down pickup could give them good momentum moving forward. Let's see what happens here on 2nd and 16. Gunther throws, and it's tipped and nearly intercepted. Haskins got the initial touch, and then it bounced over Maurice Bellon's head.
Pass from Gunther, tipped it, incomplete pass. It's going to be 3rd and 16 for the Friars, again from their own 9-yard line.
Mostly short developing routes that we have seen when Malvern has thrown the football. That was the case when St. Joe's played against this Peddie front before as well. The Falcons in the trenches, they have the size, so usually not as much time for the quarterbacks to throw the football. Gunther rolling, firing across the middle, and he's got his man. And that is going to be a first down. The ball comes out. Peddie's got it. There is a flag on the play. And it's coming back. They found Keith. I think it was Keith McGuire who made the catch.
The result of the play is a 17-yard pass from Gunther to McGuire.
They are going to wipe this one away as the referee makes the call, and it is a hold against Malvern, as well as a illegal formation against Malvern.
On Malvern, and an illegal procedure penalty.
So Malvern going the wrong way here with under 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Tightly contested game so far. Again, a spot foul, so we'll see where the line of scrimmage will be. As they mark this one all the way down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line.
The Falcons are going to accept the holding call. It's now back down to the 4-yard line.
So 20 yards to go here on 3rd down for Malvern. Dangerous area of the field. Gunther in the shotgun. Ball's loose. Peddie's got it at the 1 yard line, 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
There's a fumble on the play. It's picked up by Alex Schmidt, number 52 for the Falcons.
Alex Schmitz on the recovery. And the Falcons, just like that, knocking on the door for another score. Alex Schmidt, who took away 2 balls last week, both interceptions from the defensive line. Able to secure a turnover here in the 2nd quarter of this game. So a 1st and goal for Peddie from the 3. It's Chuck Wienecke. He's in for a touchdown.
He takes the ball up the middle and reaches across the goal line for a Peddie Falcon touchdown.
A 1-play drive, a 1-yard Chuck Wienecke run, and the Falcons lead 14-7 as Katsifis comes on for the extra point.
Katsifis back for the kick. The extra point.
Kick is up. Kick is good.
Kick is good. And that'll make the score 15.
And the score,
for the Falcons.
15-7. Peddie leads after the 1-yard Chuck Wienecke run. Take a quick break. Fumble on their own 1-yard line sets up the Peddie School as Malvern had a 3rd and long. Botched snap. Gives the ball away, and 1 yard later, 1 play later, the Falcons are in the end zone with a Chuck Wienecke touchdown.
My apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
And the Falcons will kick away with Katsifis back on, and the kickoff unit back on for Peddie. Deep man is Kevin Boyle for the Friars. Short kick into a soft spot in the field, and it looks like Malvern's got it, as Ryan McGuire had to be quick to the spot as Katsifis looked for a soft spot to pooch it in there and let his players go after it. But McGuire, credit him, not bobbling on the return, made the play, and it's 1st and 10 for Malvern on what will turn into an important drive here for the Friars. Went the wrong way on their last possession. Couple of penalties, and then ultimately the turnover was their downfall. So back to the run they go, and O'Shawn Allison unable to get past the big front as Thomas Wardle comes in on the stop. Wardle from Glassboro, New Jersey. He's a senior. And it's Wardle, Morales, and Schmidt, the 3 up front. Did see Dan Dawkins up there on defense for a couple plays, but the 3 on the field now are the ones that will be there for most of the time. Out of the flat, it's Kevin Boyle, and Boyle hit hard by Haskins. So a gain of 8 will bring up a 3rd and manageable here for Malvern. One big play for the Friars in this game was the 50-plus yard catch and run by Quincy Watson for a touchdown. 2:19 and counting to go here in the second quarter. 2 running backs here for Malvern, and it's O'Shawn Allison running east to west, able to turn upfield for a first down. O'Shawn Allison with some strong running, which will move the chains.
About a 5-yard pickup. It's a first down for the Friars. Now 1st and 10 for the Friars from their own 47-yard line.
18 touchdowns in his sophomore campaign.
Milan on the tackle.
O'Shawn Allison.
Falcon.
And you can tell every time he touches the football that he's a determined kid when he makes the most of his opportunities, missing all of last year. As this ball's tipped high in the air and it's incomplete. Yet another tip at the line by Peddie's front. Only 3 men up there, but it seems like more. Brings up a 2nd and 10 from the 47. And out of the backfield, the pass comes and is incomplete for Kevin Boyle. The pressure was in on Gunther again.
3rd and 10 now for the Friars, again from their own 47-yard line.
Big 3rd down here. Gunther throws. It's incomplete. Flag comes out. It's going to go against Peddie. Got tangled up with Haskins, did the receiver.
Like interference on the Falcons.
You could see the arms of the receiver for Malvern. You could tell he was trying to extend those arms to make that catch over the middle, but it looked like, I think it was Haskins called for the penalty. Wouldn't let him extend those arms, and that will be a first down. And a big pickup here for Malvern with 1:32 to play in the second quarter. Remember, the Friars do get the ball at the start of the third quarter.
Takes it down to the Peddie 36-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Malvern from there.
Movement before the snap. And this will back Malvern up 5 yards.
Movement on the Friars before the play.
So 1st and 15.
1st and 15 now from the 41-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 41. Gunther in the gun. Gunther going deep. He's got his man open. And it is dropped inside the 5-yard line. Oh, he hit him in the hands. Did Drew Gunther. There is a flag on the play. It wouldn't have counted anyway, as it's a hold against Malvern. Kevin Boyle got behind the D, though. And after a loud play that will be wiped away, it'll be a 1st and long for Malvern. And again, a spot foul here in high school football. So this is going to bring Malvern back all the way into their own territory at the 41-yard line.
That's 1st and over 33 yards.
1st and 33 for the Friars. No surprise, Gunther looking throw. And the ball is loose. After a big hit on the screen, they got it in the hands of Iacone. It'll be second down as Malvern lucky to get it back, and Iacone slow to get up as he took a hit from Peddie. That did not look fun. We'll take a water break here. With 1:03 to go, it's going to be second and long after the timeout. As we get one more look. Iacone looks okay. Now Peddie, with a second and a mile. I know the Falcons do have one timeout according to the scoreboard. So one chance to stop the clock if you're the Falcons. And maybe a chance for a last-second heave if you get the ball back offensively. But after this timeout, the clock is moving. We're within a minute to play in the second quarter. And on second down, they go run with O'Shawn Allison, and Corey Smith makes the stop. Number 6 for Peddie, who is very animated on the field and fun to watch, plays with good energy, the youngster. He stops number 6 on the offense as Peddie calls a timeout. 3rd and 34 with 38 seconds to go.
In the first half.
So that is the last timeout called by Peddie. So they might, if they come out with a stop here on 3rd down, you might force Malvern to make a mistake and punt, and you never know what can happen, especially here at the high school level, when execution isn't always the most consistent. Chris Maleo calling the timeout here with 38 seconds to play in the second quarter. Possibly get the ball back one more time. Third and a mile. The handoff to Watson. And Watson holds on to that football across the line of scrimmage, just a gain of a couple as the clock ticks under 30 seconds, and Malvern might be forced to punt. We might get one more play, but looks like we're not going to. That's going to do it for the first half, as it's the Falcons of Peddie who lead the Friars of Malvern Prep 15-7 in an entertaining football game here from Hightstown. We'll take a break on the Strive Network. We'll come back with the second half action. After this, you're watching live high school football on the Play-by-Play Sports Network.
Burgers, dogs, sodas, Gatorade.
Halftime here at Maurice P. Schumann Field. 15-7, Peddie leads Malvern Prep at the end of 2 quarters of play. Simon Rosenwasser back here with you. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that first half. And we'll run through some of the scoring plays. Here is Marlon Johnson, his first touchdown of the game as he took a big hit, the 2. Was able to get in for the score. That was the first score of the game. A 2-point conversion made it 8-0 Peddie. Then Malvern on just a couple of plays later through the middle. This great catch by Quincy Watson, who was able to haul that one in and then take it the distance. Malvern's extra point made it 8-7. Then Peddie, next drive, it was the Julian Leslie show as he had a number of big plays, including this screen on 3rd down and moved the chains as the Falcons would then look to get to the end zone here. This was an incomplete pass, but one of the more impressive incomplete passes you will see, as Marlon Johnson was out of bounds. And the final replay here will be one of the bigger plays of that first half, a 4th down conversion. And Malvern dropped it. Peddie would get into the end zone for a 1-yard Chuck Winecki run on the very next play. Some stats from the first half. Walters, 19 of 26, 199 yards. Julian Leslie, 9 catches, 95 yards in that first half of play. And the Falcons lead 15-7 as you see Walters warming up on the sideline with number 5, Maurice Bellon. So Malvern will take the field. They will receive here in the start of the second half. Down by 8 points.
Malvern lining up to receive the second half kickoff. Number 3, Boyle, back deep for the Friars.
There's Dave Guerrero, head coach of
Number 40,
the Malvern Prep Friars.
for the Falcons to start the second half. Kicking off from the Falcon 40-yard line.
Christos Katsifis. Jog back to get the running start. Off we go in the 3rd quarter. Kevin Boyle, right up the gut, taken down by Javar Garrett. So in comes the Malvern offense. Just 1 score in the first half on that long play to Quincy Watson. Started to move the football fairly well towards the end of that first half. Then the drive stalled. And they come out with O'Shawn Allison in the backfield. Gunther looking throw, and he's going deep. It's over the head of Quincy Watson. Maurice Bellon on the coverage. Gunther with a very strong arm. He loves throwing that fade ball. And he can also throw those short intermediate bullet passes. No offers thus yet for the junior quarterback, but in recent weeks he has heard from Syracuse, Boston College, and West Virginia, to name a few. Turning some heads after that first win against St. Augustine, where Gunther played particularly well. Movement against Malvern Prep, and this is going to back the Friars up. All right, so a false start against Malvern brings him back 5 yards. We'll make it a 2nd and 15. Haven't heard much from the big receivers for this Malvern squad. Quinn McCahan, Dan Garrity, the big tight end. And Joe Basura, the offensive guard, is somebody that you're not going to hear about because he's on the offensive line, but he's a good player as well. Here's Gunther throwing off his back foot, and that's going to be incomplete. Trying to turn around was Watson, but good coverage on the play by the safety into Sama Haskins. So it'll bring up a 3rd and long.
That ball falls incomplete, and it will bring up 3rd and 15 for the Friars from their own 27-yard line.
Joe Basiura, just mentioned him before. He's going to play at the University of Pennsylvania. Played for the U.S. U18 national team in Indianapolis. Number 71 on the left side of the line. On 3rd down, it is intercepted by Marlon Johnson.
Marlon Johnson goes up high for a one-handed interception on the pass from Gunther, looking for Boyle deep over the top.
How about the hands of Marlon Johnson? That's the good news. There's the bad news for Peddie, as there is a man down. What's the number? Was that Haskins? Let's see. I think that is Tessima. Tassama Haskins down on the field after the interception by Marlon Johnson. See if we can get another replay of that. Johnson, remember, he caught that ball in the end zone. Well, sort of in the end zone. It was an incomplete pass, but Marlon Johnson, with that 6'4" frame, he's got a huge wingspan as well. So we get one more look again. Made it look easy. Some big mitts. Terrell Pryor-like frame for number 11 and Marlon Johnson, as you see Tassama Haskins is going to struggle over there to the trainer's table. A key part of the Peddie defense. So 1st and 10 the other way. Oh, no. Oh, it was roughing the passer against Peddie School, so we're going to give Malvern the football. Apologies on.
It was roughing the passer, which makes it actually 1st and 10 for the Friars from the 49-yard line.
So confusion here is you had the injury, you had the interception, and now we are going to have a 1st and 10 for Malvern. So 2 phenomenal plays by Marlon Johnson that are both wiped away. One in the end zone on that incomplete pass, and then on that interception. 1st and 15 here for Malvern Prep. And it's Allison out of the backfield, and O'Shawn Allison with a gain of 8 on 1st down.
Screenplay to Allison from Gunther. Gains 8 yards going down the left side. Allison forced out of bounds.
2nd and 7. Only a minute of gameplay off the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
Prince on the play. Brings up 2nd and 7 for the Friars.
Allison, not a guy that catches too many passes out of the backfield, but picks one up there. A gain of 8 here, 2nd and 7. And Gunther to throw across the middle this time, and he's got his man. And there's the tight end, Dan Garrity, 6'5", 250-plus pounds. Big body tight end that can move very quickly. It's Nice luxury to have when you have an athletic big body like that. Seen Malvern this season run a number of tight end screens, none so far today. That's the first catch for Garrity. And a first down for the Friars. Two backs alongside Gunther. And it's Watson with the carry. Stays on his feet. What a run by Quincy Watson with a great effort to move the chains on first down.
Picking up about 12 yards for another first down for the Friars.
So Malvern with a good-looking drive after
from the Falcon 33-yard line.
New life was granted to them, courtesy of the roughing the passer penalty. Dan Dawkins subbing in for Peddie on this play. And they'll run with Allison. He's got room on the left side. O'Shawn Allison juking inside the 10. And Malvern Prep's got a 1st and goal coming.
Counter off tackle play to Allison with the carry. Picks up about 22 yards down to the
Friars hurry to the line.
Peddie.
Allison and Watson in the backfield. Gunther hands to Allison, trying to get the edge, and he is wrestled out by Terrell Prince. 2nd down, and 6 to go from the 6.
2nd and goal from the 6 now.
First drive of the 3rd quarter here for Malvern Prep, and it's turning into a good one as the clock will stop at 9:44. Referees eavesdropping over the huddle there. Had to send one of the offensive linemen out, and out comes Ryan Betts. Blow the whistle after the quick substitution.
2nd and goal from the 6 for the Friar.
Brings up 2nd and goal. Malvern down 8. Gunther hands off to Allison. Not fooling Peddie and Corey Smith.
Peddie tacklers pick up the play. Allison again on the counter.
Smith as well as Julian Leslie on the stops. So they're going to bring him back 3 yards there. Malvern tried a little misdirection and running. It was a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But let's see, yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct against Peddie.
There's an unsportsmanlike call.
Wow, what a bad penalty here by the Falcons as it's going to turn a 3rd and 9 into a 3rd and short from inside the 5. Chris Maleo getting the explanation. But a very manageable 3rd and goal here for Malvern, down by 8.
3rd down, 3rd and 4.
Ball spotted at the 4-yard line. Now in the I formation, power formation with Allison as the deep back. And motion is McGuire. And he's not going to get there. O'Shawn Allison stops short. In fact, not even past the original line of scrimmage. Not even past the line of scrimmage on that play. So 4th down, and you've got to think Malvern's going to go for it. They do have a good kicker. Garrett Riley has knocked some through this year, and Malvern's going to take some time to talk this one over. Big play in the game. Long drive for Malvern that they would like to cap off with a touchdown. So make sure you call the right play. The head coach is Dan Guerrera. He was the Malvern quarterback coach under Kevin Pellegrini. And should take the time when we mentioned the Pellegrini name to offer our condolences to the Malvern community with the passing of the late great Gamp Pellegrini, who was the football coach for so many years, decades and decades for Malvern. Talked to one of my friends who went to Malvern Prep, played under Coach Pellegrini. He said that it didn't matter if you were the backup offensive lineman or the starting running back or the star quarterback. Coach Pellegrini always treated you the same. Talk about Malvern football, you think of the Pellegrini name. So David Guerrera, the new head coach, to continue on that legacy for Malvern. 4th down and 4 from the 4 out of the timeout. It's a pitch to Allison. Left side of the formation, diving for the pylon. Touchdown, Malvern.
Power sweep on the play to the left side, and Allison takes it in for another Malvern touchdown.
They feed their man, O'Shawn Allison, and he rewards them with getting in the end zone for 6. Malvern will likely keep their offense on the field down by 2.
Score now with 8 minutes and 37 seconds left in the third quarter.
Good game brewing here from Heightstown. Friars lining up for 2. Over the middle, it is caught for a 2-point conversion. Dan Garrity right up the middle. And it is 15 apiece. We have got a tie game here, as both teams have put 15 on the board. We're going to get one more look at this touchdown, a timeout called right before the 4-yard run by O'Shawn Allison. Power sweep to the left side, and he's able to dive in for the score. So we are tied at 15. We'll take a quick step aside. So after the touchdown, the score is 15 apiece. And Malvern will kick away after a long drive, 3.5 minutes. They were able to stay on the field after a touchdown, or excuse me, an interception was called back. Marlon Johnson made a phenomenally athletic play, but the interception was wiped away because of a roughing the passer penalty. Malvern making Peddie pay, goes down, scores the touchdown, and now we're tied. Chuck Wienecke to return. And Chris Chuck Wienecke across the 30 to the 35, where he's brought down by Max Yogerst.
Where they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 35.
Peddie has anxiously awaited to get back on the field offensively here in the second half. And Chuck Wienecke, the running back, starts on the field next to Alan Walters.
Walters and Chuck Wienecke start the second half in the backfield once again for the Falcons.
A give to Chuck Wienecke on 1st down. Burst of speed up the middle for Chris Chuck Wienecke. He's gonna go. Touchdown, Peddie.
No flags on the play, and that's a 65-yard touchdown for Chuck Wienecke. Right up the middle.
65 yards for Chris Chuck Wienecke, and just like that, Peddie's back on top. 21 to 15.
Katsifas back for the kick and Milan on the hole.
Katsifas on for the extra point. It's up. It is good. That was quick. As Peddie with a long touchdown by Chris Chukwinecki. We get one more look here. A nice misdirection, 20 yards past the line of scrimmage. Over pursuit by the safety, and Chukwinecki off to the races. Very good running back right up the middle is Chris. See if we can get one more look at that. Run by Chris Chukwinecki. Offensive line among the best in the state of New Jersey for this Peddie Falcons team. They have the size advantage up front.
Katsifas out to kick off for the Falcons once again from their own 40-yard line.
A little bit of a different runner than recent years for the Peddie Falcons. Of course, we all remember Keyshawn Farmer, the now touchdown leader here for Peddie's football program. Went on to play for the Navy midshipmen, and just recently got word that Keyshawn is opening his recruiting back up as he's withdrawn from the Naval Academy. Chukwinecki has filled shoes nicely. A great run there as this ball is picked up at the 25 by Kevin Boyle. Boyle chased out of bounds.
Boyle picks up the rolling ball and makes a nice return out.
And Tyron Tucker credited for the stop on the far side. So Malvern, a long, nice-looking drive their last time out. And they had the ball just, 40 seconds of gameplay ago. And here they are back on the field, and yet again an uphill battle, down by 7 after the Chukwinecki run. 3 receivers on the right side. Drew Gunther in the gun looking to throw. Gunther going to overshoot his man. Double pump move by Tyge Leach.
Gunther looking for Tyge Leach down the right side. Incomplete pass will bring up 2nd and 10 for the Flyers.
So 2nd and 10 here for Malvern as you get a look at Drew Gunther. Receiving the call from Dave Guerrera. And with just over 8 minutes to play here in the second half, third quarter more specifically. Snap is called here by Gunther. They set up a screen. It's intercepted. And a pick 6 for Terrell Prince.
Screen pass set up is picked off by number 42, Terrell Prince, and it's taken back for another Peddie Falcon football touchdown.
Well, we know the Peddie offense is dangerous and can put up points. The defense much of the same as Terrell Prince brings this one back. We'll get a replay after the PAT. So just like that, 18 seconds of gameplay and 2 touchdowns are scored by the Falcons of Peddie as Katsifas lofts another one through the uprights. It is good.
That makes it 29-15.
29-15. There's a flag on the extra point try.
Flag down on the extra point try.
And it's a personal foul against Peddie. And an ejection.
Personal foul on Peddie. On the extra point.
Didn't see who it was. We'll have to take a look at the sideline to see the specific player, but can't say that it hasn't been a pattern, I guess. There have been a number of personal foul penalties collected against this team, but when you so just like that, 29-15, Peddie leads here. Saw the replay earlier, and here it is again. Terrell Prince.
Boyle is back deep, but he's moved up to just inside the 25-yard line for the Friars.
So after the personal foul on the extra point, the ball will be kicked off at the 25, which will give Malvern presumably better field position. And even more so, it's a super short kick that Billy Carlini is able to fall on. And Malvern will start their drive with very good field position already in Peddie territory. The pace has slowed to a crawl here in the third quarter. First and 10 for Malvern. A handoff to Watson, and jumped on by the Peddie front. That was Chris Mayo with the tackle. Check that, Wardle and Schmidt on the stop.
No gain, it'll be second and 10 for the Friars from the Peddie 45.
Let's go, D!
Second down and just under 10 yards. Blitz coming. Pass caught over the middle. Chuck Winecki will stop Quincy Watson, but not before Watson's able to pick up the first down. They move the chains inside the 35-yard line.
From the 34-yard line now of the Peddie Falcons.
First and 10 for Malvern, down 2 touchdowns. Movement, and it's going to go against the right guard, or right tackle.
Flag on the play. So movement call on the Friars. That's going to lose 5
And
yards.
Kevin
Take
White
back to the Falcon
called for the penalty.
39-yard line, where it'll be first and 15 for the Friars from there.
Gunther throws to the far side. It's complete to Watson. But they called it out of bounds. Did they on the far side? Yes, they did.
Watson makes a nice catch, but he's just out of bounds. That's going to be an incomplete pass.
It'll bring up
Brings up second and 15 for the Friars.
second down and 15.
From the Falcon 39.
Gunther looking to throw. Intercepted. Corey Smith with the ball, and Corey Smith is down inside the 45. Peddie takes over.
Up the middle, it's picked up by number 6 sophomore Corey Smith for the Falcons.
As Peddie has their second interception in as many drives.
3-yard line, where it'll be first
And
10.
back out onto the field comes the offense with a 1st and 10 from the 44. Future star in Corey Smith. Class of 2020, he's from Brightwood, Virginia. Yeah, one more look here. Corey Smith has made some plays. Here in his first couple games as a Peddie Falcon, and we expect many more. Flag here on the ensuing play. It's going to be a delay of game against the Falcons as they'll mark back 5 yards. 1st and 15 upcoming for Peddie.
Falcons pushing back 5 yards. Back to the prior 49, where it'll be 1st and 15 for the Falcons.
No throw on 1st down, and Walters has his man. Good hands there by Julian Leslie.
Julian Leslie on the reception, 14 yards on the pass from Walters. That'll bring up 2nd and short for the Falcons from the 34-yard line of Pryor.
Just short of a 1st down was Leslie. But they're going to take a referee timeout, I believe, to measure. Is that why? Yep, here comes the chain gang. Making the longest trip that they possibly can as the ball is all the way here on the near sideline, coming all the way from the far. I think it's going to be just short, but we'll have to wait and see. First down.
Measurement shows a 1st down for the Falcons.
So, fresh set of downs for the Falcons. Line of scrimmage just about the 32-yard line.
That'll make it 1st and 10 for the Falcons from the Pryor 32. Resuming play now, the chains are set.
5 wide for Peddie. Chuck Winecki in motion. And Walters throws over the middle. It's off the hands of Bellon, incomplete.
Line from Walters over the middle. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Falcons from the Pryor 33-yard line.
Play action, and it's Marlon Johnson on 2nd down.
Marlon Johnson with the catch on the quick hitter down the sidelines.
Johnson with a nice gain of 8.
Gain of about 8, almost 9 yards, and it'll be 3rd and a little more than a yard for the Falcons. From just
So
inside
3rd
the
and short
25-yard
here,
line.
as Peddie has already scored 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, looking for more. Under 5 minutes to play in the 3rd. Looking end zone for Johnson, and he has got it. Touchdown. Marlon Johnson with the strong hands. Second touchdown of the game for Marlon Johnson, and the future college athlete already with offers from Temple, among others, brings it in for a score. It's 35-15, and the Falcons have put on the gas pedal, now up by 20. Cephas's extra point is good. Here's the replay. Actually fairly decent coverage by Isaac White. At 6 foot 175, going up against 6'4". And Marlon Johnson wins the battle. Peddie up 21, 36-15. Leading 15-7 at the start of the half. Malvern made a statement, or so it seemed, at the beginning of the third quarter with that long touchdown drive, but since then, a couple of big offensive plays for the Falcons, a Chuck Wienecke run, a Marlon Johnson catch, and a Terrell Prince interception return for a touchdown have given the Falcons a 3-touchdown lead. Katsifas back out to kick it away here in the third. 4:44 to go in the third quarter. As Boyle is back to return. Another short kick, and it's bobbled, it's loose. Peddie looks like they have it, and they do. In the arms of Javar Garrett, and the Falcons have possession yet again. Get one more look here. Kickoff team has liked to go for those soft spots in the kick return unit. First time they were able to execute it and succeed in getting the ball back. As Tedeschi runs on first down, Tyler Tedeschi, the starting middle linebacker, is up the middle for a solid gain.
It's a nice pickup of about 6 yards. Make it 2nd and 4 for the Falcons from the 31-yard line of the Friars.
Gain of 6 for Tedeschi, who's next to Walters, blocking this play. Walters will tuck it and run. Flag comes out. He gets it to Bellon. This one probably coming back as Maurice Bellon has first down yardage for the moment.
Hits Bellon. There is a flag on the play. It's a holding call on the
In
Falcons.
the effort to give Walters a little bit more time, a holding penalty called against the Falcons. So we'll do second down over again, as it'll become second and back them up even more. It's a spot foul. Over 20 yards. Second and 22. Walters in trouble, and he goes down. The ball's loose. Malvern has it. Just what the doctor ordered for the Friars. As Massimo comes down with the ball. See if we can get another look on the replay to see who loosed it, but Walters had no time.
Great pressure from number 55, Harry Stinger, for the Friars. Foul that fumble, and that makes it a first down for the Friars. Going the other way from the Falcon 49-yard line, 1st and 10.
Harry Stinger. And Nick Guerrera on the forced fumble. Out of the backfield, they give it to Daniel Garrity. And Garrity has a first down, but this one likely coming back as there's a flag all the way back near where the ball was released, and it is a hold against Malvern. So first and very long upcoming here for Malvern.
Another slot foul takes it back another 10 yards. It's now going to be first and
24 for Malvern. Just over 3 minutes to play in the third. They run with Allison, and Schmidt hits him immediately. The ball came out at the end, and you can hear the calls on the Peddie sideline that this should be the Falcon ball, but I think they called him down. And it's second down and long for Malvern, as Allison got virtually nowhere on first. Allison and Watson both in the backfield, with Gunther in the gun. And it's Allison again, and Tedeschi makes the play.
Allison again on the run. Tyler Tedeschi jumping into the backfield to make the tackle.
It's a third and long.
Loss of another yard in this third and
After the fumble by Walters, forced by Guerrera of Malvern. 3rd and 24. Here for the Friars with 2 minutes to go in the third. Four receivers for Gunther. They pick up protection. And this ball is incomplete, looking the way of Kevin Boyle. And Javar Garrett on the coverage. 4th down and long. Malvern all but forced to punt here with 1:40 to go. And back out comes Garrett Riley, the punter.
Garrett Riley back to punt. Ballon and Leslie back deep for the Falcons to receive.
Maurice Bellon, Julian Leslie standing both at about their own 30-yard line to receive this punt. Low kick that Leslie let bounce and then corrals. Leslie trying to turn upfield, and he's not going to get past number 72 in Connor Carey, who stops him at the 26. So Peddie, after the fumble, they hold Malvern to a 3 and out. And get the ball back. The 1st and 10 at the 27.
With 1:27 left in the third quarter, just a reminder that the Peddie School senior class, the class of 2018, is still selling concessions. They'd love to have you come by and support their efforts to raise money for the senior class prom. Hot dogs and burgers still available. Sodas, Gatorade, and chips. Please support the Peddie School class of 2018.
Hand off to Chuck Winecki on first down. Gain of about 4, maybe 5 for Chris Chuck Winecki. Big run earlier in the quarter. 65-yard run on
second and fourth.
First and 10.
4 yards for the Falcons. From their own 37-yard.
Here's the second down snap. Walters hands to Leslie coming across. And he's got the first down.
Leslie with the
stopped by Isaac White. And it's first and 10 Peddie as the clock ticks under 45 seconds to play in the third.
From about the 39-yard line.
Let's go, Bar!
Chuck Winecki in motion. Walters sets up the screen with Leslie. Leslie trying to spin past Dominic Massimo, but he isn't able to do so, get past him. But he does get in Massimo's head, and a little extracurricular activity there will warrant the flag, as Guerrero was in there on the sideline too for Malvern. A little extra shove out of bounds, and that's when the flag came out.
Dead ball foul. Personal foul against the defense. Dead ball foul. Personal foul against the offense. Those dead ball fouls now by rule are set.
All right, so you heard the explanation there.
2 dead ball personal fouls on the play.
Offsetting penalties.
1 for Malvern and 1 for Peddie. Offsetting penalties.
So they'll replay second down and 8.
Be second and 8 for Peddie from their own 41-yard line.
Clock stopped after the ball was caught out of bounds. And the penalty was called. So here's Walters on a second down, handing to Chuck Winecki. Chuck Winecki tripped up, as that will do it for the third quarter of play. Peddie will take a lead to the fourth. A 21-point lead to the fourth, 36-15.
36-15 at the end of the
The
third.
score here at the end of the third quarter. We'll come back for the fourth after this. Start of the fourth quarter.
Start of the fourth quarter will be
36-15 lead here for Peddie.
their own 45-yard line for the
3rd and 4 from their own 35. Making a Chukwinecki. Walters. Too much time. He goes down. Ryan Betts makes the sack. And a 4th and 10 upcoming for the Falcons. Here comes the punt unit.
It's a loss of 4 yards. That's going to bring up 4th and 9 for the Falcons from their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, one more look here. Nice play by Ryan Betts. He was one of our players to watch on the defensive side for the Friars. So first punt of the game for Peddie. Walters back deep to kick.
Walters back to kick for the Falcons.
Flag comes out. Walters with the line drive kick that gets over the head for the moment of Kevin Boyle. He retrieves. And Boyle still loose here. Across the 40 to the 42.
Boyle on a great return, shakes a couple of tackles and gets out to the
2 flags on the field.
41-yard line. There are flags on the play.
False start against the offense. Or an illegal formation against the offense. Penalty was declined by Malvern after it was a pretty decent return. So good field position for the Friars. Still a lot of work to do, down by 21 points. They'll need a couple of quick scores.
Friars will have 1st and 10 from their own 40.
They'll hand off to Boyle. And Javar Garrett is there on the stop. Just a short gain of 1.
Garrett and Smith on the tackle for the Falcons.
So a 2nd and 9 as
Make that a 1-yard gain with it. Make it 2nd and 9.
Kevin Boyle takes his first carry of the game. Now Boyle lined up in the slot as a receiver on the right side for Malvern. On 2nd and 9, they fake the handoff and they give to Boyle again. And Boyle able to get the yardage for the first down. So the last 3 plays, including the punt return, have been Kevin Boyle with the ball in his hands. 5'7", 150, a senior. So 46-yard line is now the home of the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 1st and 10 for the Friars now inside the Falcon territory at the 46-yard line.
Gunther looking throw. And it is incomplete. Flag comes out, and Javar Garrett's not happy, as I think they're going to get him on the penalty. Quincy Watson was running the route. And now as the clapping comes from Peddie, let's see, it might be against Malvern. They're picking it up.
Now they're picking up the flag. There's no flag on the play.
So just your standard incomplete pass on first down.
Gunther trying to hit number 5, Watson over the middle.
And 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Brings up 2nd and
With
10
just
for the Friars.
over 2
Falcons
minutes
46-yard line.
gone by in the 4th quarter.
Let's go, D! Come on, Peddie! Go get him! Go get him!
Gunther throwing deep, and he's got his man near the goal line. Touchdown, Quinn McCahan.
A gutsy pass by Gunther.
And
He's getting
Gunther,
taken down.
who took a shot as he released that ball, a little slow to get up and get over to the sideline, but
46 yards.
it is a 46-yard pass and catch And a huge play for Malvern with 9:33 to go here in the fourth quarter. They score 36-21 as they line up for the extra point. Riley's kick is drilled through and good. And Malvern responds with another touchdown. It's 36-22 as we get another look.
9 minutes and 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Good work by Gunther to stand in there as he had a man in Jose Morales coming in hard on him. And that was a good-looking throw as he got it over the head of the safety, and Quinn McCain was there for the catch and the score and the touchdown. So 9:33 to play. Problem for Malvern defensively has been the fact that it has not been easy to stop this Peddie offense. Both the run and the pass. So potent. As the sun gets lower and lower here in the sky on a Friday afternoon turning evening. As it turns evening, we want to wish our Jewish fans a happy fast, a easy fast for the Yom Kippur holiday.
Number 15,
starts this evening at sundown.
Once again.
Peddie, block someone. Let's go.
Ross and Tedeschi back for the Falcons.
Before the kick, timeout Peddie.
Before the kick, Peddie Falcons take a timeout.
So we'll take one as well. Back for the kickoff after the Malvern touchdown. And it's an onside kick quickly out of the huddle, and Javar Garrett falls on it as Malvern Prep tries to catch Peddie off guard with a quick kick out of the huddle, but Javar Garrett not fooled. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for Peddie with 9:33 to go.
It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 43-yard
Get one more look at that most recent touchdown by Malvern Prep. Morales barreling in on Gunther, and he's able to get it away to Quinn McCain for the touchdown. Chuck Winecki, the running back, next to Walters. 1st and 10 run for Chris, and he's stacked up at the line. What a play by Keith McGuire. That's the the linebacker, excuse me, that we told you to keep an eye out for. Number 4, already offered by Virginia and Army. Second and 8. Walters with time. Now flushed out. Incomplete.
Walters flushed out of the pocket. He throws the ball away. Incomplete pass. That'll bring up third and a little more than 8 from their own 45-yard lines for the Falcons.
So big third down here for Peddie, as Malvern's got a little bit of life scoring that recent touchdown. And even more momentum would be in their favor with a defensive stop here. Still plenty of time left. Third and 8. Fake to Chuck Winecki. Walters stepping up. Walters gonna run. He is close to the first down as Walters
flushed from the pocket, runs the ball himself.
Is able to pick it up, run all the way out onto the track, and ran into that metal bench on the near sideline as well. It depends on the spot, and it might be close enough where we get another measurement here on the near sideline, but we'll see what the referees decide. And it looks like they will stop the clock and take an official timeout to get a measurement, as the chain gang will make yet another long trip across the way. Line to gain is about the 47. Just short. So it'll be a 4th and less than 1 here for the Falcons.
Much less than a yard.
And with a big offensive line, should be easy enough to sneak through for a short gain. But a lot of time to decide what play to call with the referee timeout, and now the chain gang looks like it's stuck out there in the middle of the field. What's the caught on something? They're going to measure again from the middle and make sure they place it in the right spot. And it will be 4th down and short when the chain gangs gets back to their rightful position. And the crowd tries to get loud here on a big 4th down play. It's Tedeschi in at running back. And Walters down behind center. And he's pushed by Tedeschi. I don't know if he got it. He may have been stopped short. Malvern sure thinks so. And it's going to depend on the spot. There was definitely, now they're going to say it's a first down. It was close either way, but I think the first push, definitely he didn't get it, Walters. But then Tedeschi came in from the back and gave him that extra little shove. And from the naked eye, it looked like he was right there. And yet now they're going to stop the clock and
official timeout again,
take another official timeout to measure. You got one more look there. Let's see if we can play it back one more time. And you see Tedeschi coming in at the end there. I think it's going to be tough to call him short here. The Ball is spotted, and now it's just up to the measuring committee. He's short. Malvern football, a big 4th down stop. Chris Maleo going to come out here and protest the spot. Again, either way, you know it was going to be a close call.
That's going to make it 1st and 10 for the Friars from their own.
But Malvern, who scored the most recent touchdown, able to stop Peddie on 4th down. And now just down by 14, 8.5 to go. The Friars with quite a bit of life here in the 4th quarter. Chris Maleo receiving another explanation. First down, Malvern. Two-score game. Drive starts. They're going deep. Gunther is incomplete, looking for Isaac White, and a flag comes out. Tyron Tucker on the coverage, and this one looks to be going against the Falcons. Momentum shifting in Malvern's favor. It's against Tyron Tucker. Pretty good looking throw there from Gunther, giving his man a chance to catch. And the big penalty will bring the ball up to the 37 for a 1st and 10. Faking the handoff to Allison, and then it's deflected. Terrell Prince.
Malvern set up the screen. The ball is tipped by Terrell Prince on the play. Incomplete pass. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Friars from the Falcon 36-yard line.
Gunther rolls. Off his back foot, he fires, and he completes to Watson, who stays on his feet. He's inside the 5. He's in for a touchdown. Oh, what a play by Quincy Watson.
Quincy Watson with the reception, and another Malvern prep Friar touchdown.
So the Friars with a big 4th down stop, and then on the ensuing drive, a penalty brings them closer. And a long pass from Gunther to Quincy Watson, who scores his 2nd touchdown of the game. And just like that, it's an 8-point game. Make it a 7-point game.
Riley with the kick for the extra point.
As Malvern
And that makes it a 7-point
puts 2
ball game.
touchdowns on the board
36,
in quick succession.
and Malvern 29
It's 36-29 as we get another look.
in the game.
Notice that Gunther, even when there's not that much pressure on him, it looks like he's throwing off of his back foot sometimes, and still was able to put that ball in the appropriate area. Actually, a really good throw. There as Watson was near the far sideline. And Watson has shown some good ability after the catch to make some magic happen. So Peddie had a 21-point lead. It's now just down to 7. Good resilience by the Friars of Malvern Prep And Peddie, after a huge miss on 4th and short, are made to pay by those Friars and David Guerrera's squad. So turning into a close and entertaining matchup here.
Constantini on a kick for Malvern. Kicking off from their own 40-yard line. Tucker and Milan back to receive the kick for the Falcons.
Back to a one-score game as Costatini dribbles it up the middle. And it's Terrell Prince trying to bounce outside. Prince still with it. Finally brought down by Jack Yogerst.
Falcons takes it out to the 41-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 41.
So a turnover and a 4th down stop on their last 2 offensive possessions for the Falcons. They come out onto the field with a 1st and 10 starting at the 41 with under 8 minutes to play.
Walters and Chuck Winecki in the backfield for the Falcons.
Chuck Winecki is the running back, and they give it to him on 1st down. Why not? 1st and 10, he's got another fresh set. Gain of 11.
Chuck Winecki with a big 12-yard gain up the middle. Into Malvern territory will be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from the Malvern 48.
And off to Chuck Winecki. And he's taken down in the backfield. Life from the Malvern defense. This was Keith McGuire. And the backfield to make the stop at number 4 at 6'2", 215. Brings up a 2nd and 11.
That'll make it 2nd and 11 from the Friar 49 for the Falcons.
An offense that we're used to seeing with a lot of pep in their step is now taking their time with a 1-possession lead. As they try to churn some clock off, Walters snaps the ball and hands off. Again, it's Chuck Winecki, and Chuck Winecki not going to get past Guerrera. As a flag does come in, and this penalty might be going against Peddie as well. We look to see, I think it's going to be a hold against the Falcons, and it is. Not that he got anywhere anyway. So it's either going to be a 3rd and 12, or if they accept the penalty, a spot foul and a 2nd and long. So Malvern may decline this. It's possible it's in their best interest to do so. As they do decline that penalty, it'll bring up a 3rd and long. So they take the down away from Peddie, and they'll settle for that 1-yard loss after the Chuck Winecki run. So 3rd and long, and Malvern in good spot here defensively to try to get the ball back and possibly tie it up, maybe take the lead. We've got ourselves a ball game here halfway through the 4th quarter. A 3rd and long. Walters in the shotgun takes the snap. Steps up, and he's got it to Bellon in the flat. Bellon, quick moves, but he's just 4 yards past the line of scrimmage as Cole McCabe makes the stop. And it looks like Peddie gonna be forced to punt. 4th and 11. Belon has had a very quiet game compared to the game he had last week where he was in the end zone three times offensively and then another time defensively on a pick six. Instead, Malvern going to get the ball back here as Isaac White makes the catch just about the 14. 5:12 to go. And Malvern, who's ripped off 14 straight points, now with a chance for a touchdown or a game-tying touchdown. Deep in the fourth quarter, fatigue comes into play when you're the Peddie school and you don't have a deep roster. Quick pass, it is going to be ruled a catch. One referee claiming it was incomplete on the near side, the other referee on the far side saying it was complete. So now I think the referees are going to talk to each other and somebody's going to have the final say. I think from here it looked like that ball did hit the ground, but it was ruled a catch, and they're going to keep that ruling the same. So, got a 5-yard gain on the catch, and the clock runs under 5 minutes. Crunch time here for Malvern. A gassed Peddie defense, but still a lot of field to go. Ball spotted at the 20 on 2nd and 5. Fake the handoff to Allison, and they've got a first down on the quick pass to Kevin Boyle, and then a penalty on the far side as hit out of bounds late was Boyle, and a flag comes out, so a 15-yard penalty coming here against Peddie, it looks like. Yet another personal foul penalty. How about the Malvern Prep Friars with a 1st and 10 from their own 45. The rolling Gunther left. Now he throws over the middle, and it is caught. Up in the air, bringing it down, Keith McGuire. And the Friars are in business.
30 yards to the Falcon 25. 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Friars.
First and 10 from the 25. It was a 21-point deficit. It's now just 7, and Malvern's got the ball at the Peddie 25. Gunther looking end zone, and he just overshot McGuire, who had a step on his man.
Just long on the pass, incomplete. Bringing up 2nd.
Yeah, one more look here
2nd and 10 from the 25-yard line.
at that big catch by Keith McGuire. Brings up a 2nd and 10 with 4 minutes to go. Going end zone again. And this time it is brought in for a touchdown by Keith McGuire again. What a comeback by Malvern. They're lining up for 1 on the extra point. Garrett Riley for the tie. It's up. It is good. And we are knotted up at 36.
And that ties the game at 36 with 3 minutes and 54 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Wow. Not sure anyone saw this one coming as McGuire brought it down. What a catch by number 4. Might start to get some looks offensively as well. We know how good of a defender he is. But now we are tied at 36, just like we were tied at 15 at the start of the third quarter. That's when Peddie took control, going on a 21-0 run to lead 36-15. But here in the fourth quarter, the Falcons with a fumble, a big stop on fourth down, and some big offensive plays by Malvern through what looks like a tired Peddie defense has made this a 36-36 ball game. The Peddie offense has been quiet here in the fourth quarter, and now it's time for Alan Walters and company to make something happen with under 4 minutes to play. There's Chris Vallejo and Alan Walters getting ready to head back on the field. Low kick. It's Maurice Bellon with it. The dangerous Maurice Bellon. And Bellon brought down by Guerrera across the 36-yard line. They might want to get the ball in his hands a little more here on this offensive series. But the joke's over now for the Peddie offense, who have taken the quarter off, it seems like. But 3:45 to go. The drive starts here for the Falcons. It's a Chuck Winecki run. And again, a big play by Guerrera. He's been all over the place.
Chuck Winecki taken down again by number 26.
It's a gain of 1.
For the Flyers, after just a very short gain, almost a yard. Brings up second
You
and
got to
9.
admire the determination of this Malvern team. As defensively, they have taken it up a notch in the last 15 minutes. Again, it's Chuck Winecki. And it's a minimal gain on second down. Just about 3 yards. So a 3rd and 6 as we have a slow player to get up. And Jack Walker. So as Jack Walker is tended to on the field, we'll take a step aside. Third down and 6 yards to go out of the timeout. Under 3 minutes to play. Walters with time. Near side, he's got his man. First down for Peddie. Tyron Tucker. Huge first down pickup by Peddie as the clock stops for the ball spot at 2:36. First down run for Chris Chukwinecki. Solid gain.
Chukwinecki with a solid gain up the middle.
Jake Hornibrook with the tackle.
Make that 6 yards. It'll bring up
2nd and 4 as we tick to 2 minutes to go.
from the 42-yard line.
Second down, they're throwing. And it is dangerously over the head of Maurice Bellon, who comes together with Nick Guerrero. Some groaning here by the near side fans looking for a flag, but none thrown.
Incomplete pass.
Ball was well over the head of his intended target.
Once again from the
So it brings up a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. Another big 3rd down. 3 receivers on the right side, including Maurice Bellon. They run it on 3rd down. Chukwinecki keeps those legs churning, and he's close. Holds the ball forward, I think, across the first down marker. And if he didn't get the first down, he's just short. Based on the spot, looks like they're going to give it to him without a measurement. So under 2 minutes to play, they stop the clock for the ball spot on the first down. And Peddie quickly to the line with 1:45 and counting. Low snap, Walters throws. Maurice Bellon brought down right as he caught the ball by number 4 in Keith McGuire. A gain of 5, 1:30 to play. Game on the line here. Walters on 2nd down. Has time in the pocket, now rolls right. Walters throws it away.
Walters forced out of the pocket and throws it away.
There's a flag coming out as Walters in protest. I think that's going to be an intentional grounding. That's why they threw the penalty.
There's a flag on the play.
Walters threw it away, and if there wasn't a receiver in the vicinity, it's intentional grounding, and they are going to call it. Intentional grounding against Peddie. A back-breaking penalty there, and that's going to make it, 3rd and long. Huge call. You be the judge here. Was there a receiver in the vicinity? No one even close. The closest person there was Marlon Johnson, and he was not even being looked at. So 4th and long, and Peddie's going to stay on the field. Timeout, Falcons. So big spot in the game, obviously. 36 apiece, 1:09 to go. A huge intentional grounding call that stops the momentum, any momentum that Peddie had on that drive. So Malvern now thinking they can get the ball back, and the way that things have played out in the last 10 or 15 minutes, the Friars feel pretty good about their chances of moving the football on what was a tired defense the last time out. There has been some time for the Falcons to rest as their offense has had the ball for quite a little while. But the more immediate question is, whether Alan Walters is going to throw the ball or punt the ball here on this play, and it looks like he's going to punt the ball. Walters' kick is a good one, and it's in the arms of Johnson. It's a touchdown for Peddie. They called a fair catch, did the Malvern Friars. It's not a touchdown. It's not a touchdown. They called a fair catch. And since he fumbled it, the ball is dead at the spot that Johnson took it. So it is a fumble. It is a 1st and 10 for Peddie, and the Falcons now have the ball on the 14-yard line. What a play. You can see the celebration on the Peddie side. What this game means. 36-36. 1 minute to play, and Peddie with the ball deep in enemy territory. Flag though, and that has been a bugaboo this game for the Falcons. However, this is going against Malvern. It's encroachment against Malvern. So 1st and 5 from inside the 10. On 1st down, Walters looks end zone for Judson, who's got it, and the ball's loose for an incomplete pass. He was hit at the end by the strong Quincy Watson. They took the touchdown away from Marlon Johnson just earlier on the punt coverage, so they went right back to him. And now the timeout is taken by Malvern Prep. Peddie upcoming schedule as Maple League play starts. They'll face the Hill School at 3 p.m. next week. 2 more home games, both streamed live here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. One against Lawrenceville, and then of course the season finale of Peddie Blair Day right here at Maurice P. Schumann Field. So the last non-conference game here for Peddie, and they're looking to get out of non-conference play with a 3-1 record, but they'll have to score here if they want to do so. Still a tie game. Chuck Winecki in motion, and they give to Julian Leslie right up the middle, and he doesn't get much. Gets close to that 1st down marker, but it will bring up a 4th down and a couple yards here for Peddie. Check that 3rd down and a couple yards here for Peddie. It's Chuck Winecki. And Chuck Winecki keeps it going across the goal line. It's a touchdown for the Falcons. With 13 seconds left, Peddie gets into the end zone for Chuck Winecki's 2nd touchdown of the game. And it's 42-36. So Malvern with what they can only hope is 1 or 2 more shots at a miracle play to tie, as the extra point is up and good from Katsifis. And the Falcons almost with a gift touchdown after the bobbled punt by Malvern. Chuck Winecki into the end zone with some help from his offensive line. And the Falcons come away with the touchdown when they need it.
Chuck got ice in his veins.
Yeah, you heard one of the players on the sideline say it. Chuck with ice in his veins. The closer. "13 seconds on the clock. Peddie with a 1-touchdown lead. They had a 3-touchdown lead here in the fourth quarter, but they let that one slip. They're going to do everything they can to keep this 7-point lead as Katsifis lines up to boot. And he boots a line drive long over the head of the returner. It's going to get into the end zone for a touchback. So the good news for Malvern is that no time comes off the clock. The bad news for Malvern is that they're going to start their drive fairly deep in their own territory.
It'll be Malvern Friar Law, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line with 13 seconds.
Start the drive from the 20. No adjustment made in high school football to the rule of where the drives start after a touchback, as it did in the NFL. Now drive starting from the 25-yard line. But just a couple of plays, if that, left for Malvern. 80 yards to go. Gunther lets it fly. Short play to Watson, who goes up the middle. And they're going to have to call timeout immediately for one more play.
Quick play over the middle, caught by Watson, number 5.
So a gain of
about
9.
It'll be 2nd and 1 for Malvern.
And 71 yards needed here for Malvern. One more timeout. Turned into a really good football game in the second half. 15-15, or 15-7 at the start of the third quarter. Malvern came out, made a statement. Nice drive at the beginning to tie it up at 15. And Peddie quickly scored afterwards. Tacked on another 2 touchdowns. They were up 21 points in the fourth. And Malvern coming all the way back, putting themselves in a position to receive the ball and drive down the field for a potential game-winning score. They botched the punt return. Peddie takes over and gets into the end zone, and now just one play away from their 3rd win of the season. 2nd and 1. And that's gonna do it as Javar Garrett ends the game. Marlon Johnson, was it a fumble? Yes, it was, I think. It might be a last-second touchdown for Peddie. Regardless, it's a win for the Falcons. The final, it's either 43-36 or 49-36. We'll see if the referees do call that last one an official touchdown, but a sigh of relief kind of win for Peddie, who blew a 21-point lead, but they get to celebrate at the end of the game anyway.
As the Falcons prevail 43-36.
One more look at the final play of the game. Javar Garrett from the blind side, and Whether the ball came out, it doesn't matter. I think they're just going to say that it was a sack. The final 43-36 as the Peddie Falcons are victorious.
We all travel down to the Hill School for the opening of Maple Play and the first Maple Day of the year.
So Peddie goes on to play the Hill School next week. And they come away with an impressive out-of-conference win today against the Malvern Prep Friars. We thank you for joining us here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Simon Rosenwasser here, Ben Rosenwasser on the graphics, Kevin Fodinger, our director. We'll see you next time here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Tomorrow we've got soccer for you as Blair Academy takes on Pope John in boys soccer. Until then, so long. Final 43-36 from Hightstown.